Salem Kolonyi Children and Babies Home provides residential care for children who have been orphaned, abandoned or abused, and those who have no one to care for them. They are the most vulnerable in society, and they find love and care at Salem. Salem believes that the best place for children is within their own community, and so the social workers make every effort to investigate the background of each child and search for the relatives who can care for them. Once a child is resettled, the social worker follows their integration process and provides assistance and support. Canton Orecho, a warden at Salem Kolonyi Children and Babies Home, says that the home takes care of the needy, abandoned, neglected, orphaned, and other categories, and Salem is not only for children, but for adults too.
Salem Children and Babies Home, it's a home that takes care of the vulnerable children. And of course, when I speak about the vulnerable, I mean the abandoned, the neglected, the orphaned, the abused, the tortured ones, those categories that you really feel they need care and support, or they need protection here and there. And the home has existed for so many years. I have to say, like, over 40 years. And it has really uplifted the lives of so many children, changed the lives of so many, restored hopes in so many. As I speak now, there are over 500 that have passed through this home. And at the moment, we have 33 children. We have 17 girls and then 16 boys. And then we have also other categories. So Salem is not only for children, but we have also other categories. And at the moment, there are 5. Unfortunately, we lost 2 of them last year. One died last year, one died the other year. They had some health problems. One was on had epilepsy, one had wounds that could disturb here and there. And there are people that almost Salem began with. They were mature men and women. They're even older than you. Yeah, but of course Salem tried to trace for their families, and no one could be found. And you know, it's really quite challenging sometimes. Not everyone wishes to take care of such people because of their nature. So Salem didn't have an option other than still maintaining them here. Once these children are admitted here, we provide all the basic needs. That's food, shelter, clothing, medical care. We also try our best to see that we give them the parental love, affectionate. Though we are not biological parents, but we try our best to see that they receive that kind of love that they miss. Because just like I've told you, the biggest number, they are orphans. They lost their mothers immediately after birth. So when they come, we provide all that. And when they are enrolled, us here at Salem, we also run the home just like any other family setting.
She also explains the criteria through which they get these children, and the time they stay depends on the need, and she says the relationship with the community is good and encourages socialization.
These children, we get them from the community through the procedures of the authorities. Now, like any child that is identified in the community that is in need of care and protection, it is already through the LOC1 of that place, because the LOC1, once he writes to us, we are sure that there is need, there is really a great need. Then the probation officers, the CDOs, the police, sometimes it is always direct from the police, like cases of child trafficking, child torture, they are always direct from the police. And once they are brought here, it's not that we have a specific period for them, but it depends on the need. You realize that some children, they stay short in just for shorter time, and they are resettled. You realize that those ones who can even attain 18 years, but when still the resettlement is very hard because of the environment, the family backgrounds. So we care for them, we protect them, we continue maintaining the contact with the surviving parents, the surviving relatives. So every holidays, we encourage the surviving relatives to come and visit them. At the same time, we also take them for holidays. In so doing, we are trying to strengthen the social bonding between the child and the surviving relative or the parent. So at where we see that the parents, the surviving relatives, they are positive and the social bonding has been really strengthened, then we plan for placement or resettlement. At the beginning of my work, because I was a fresher, just from a graduate from the university, it was quite challenging, but you know, the more you stay, the more your job can shape your experience, your career. But at the moment, I find everything is okay, and I'm well, I'm good, and I love it. Personally, I love dealing with the children. I love children like nothing. So it has helped me to ease my work. I do it with a lot of love because I love my job. I love children. So for the period I've been here, everything is going on smoothly. The relationship with our community has been so good, and we really encourage our socialization. Even as per government program, it's always good for children to socialize. That's why you see we are not enclosed as a home. It is open place. Why? Because we encourage these children to socialize, interact with those ones from the community. And this is how it has been always. These children from the community, they come. We have a playground the other side. I think you've seen. When they come, it's always like their meeting points. Even the children for the staff, the surrounding staffs, they come. At times you may find at home here when there is quite additional number, but it's because of children from the communities. They come, they interact with them, so that they really feel they are part of us. Also, these ones, they feel they are in a normal family setting, not like people who are gazetted in a prison or what. Then the community, of course, we cannot just bring a child because there is a need for the community, this and that, but always what we try, there's always a sensitization. The other part of it, what always links us, also services. Our services is not only internally, but it extends externally. So those ones that are in need of care, but parents are there, we have a program called DCC, that is Daycare Center. So Daycare Center, we support children whose relatives can keep them, but they are not in position, they cannot afford to provide. So what we do, we maintain those children with their parents, but we still provide the services like educational support, food, shelter, things like that. Because we believe our community is the best place for a child.
Madam Cantona also explains the challenges they face as a children's home, and resettlement is costly due to scarce resources.
The policy, we have to first save life before we determine other factors. So one of the challenges that has been really a big problem to us is financial constraints. Sometimes our finances are small compared to the needs, especially the admissions. Just like I tell you, like we do admit children that are planned, not planned. Sometimes you may estimate in the budget this year we may admit 10, you may find you admit more than that. And when you compare to the basket or to the budget, when it is small. So one of the challenges, those are financial constraints. And by the way, it has been hard. It has been a challenge. During COVID, it was a big challenge whereby we lost some potential donors, people who could stand with us, provide here and there. Some of them died, and it became a challenge. And what we did, we had to come up with some initiatives. And some of them, the initiatives we came with is doing some small farming. You can look around, there are some plantations. All that we do so that we can reduce on the cost of other commodities like food. So the little money we save can be invested in other things, because education of these children matters a lot. We really make sure they are empowered, because there are those children that the surviving relatives, they are not willing to receive them. And so what we can do is to support their education, empower them with the skills for those who cannot go far exceed in classes, so that in future they can live independent life. So the other challenge is some surviving relatives or parents, they are still negative to receive them back. And we cannot force, we cannot just dump them in environment where they're not wanted, they are not liked. It has also been a challenge to us. The other challenge still, we have a high expectation. Instead of them extending a hand, for them they expect higher than even what we have. They think maybe this is an organization, everything is there, but in actual sense we also live a struggling life. Sometimes there are families that are ready to receive these children, but when they are really struggling, you reach at a home, you see even the physical state of the home, the shelter itself, whereby you first need to empower this family, maybe construct a better shelter, give an IGA before you redo it, you take back the child. So it has been always a challenge when it comes to resettlement. So it needs to first empower the family before you do what? You resettle. Then the other challenge that we have often faced is the children with the special needs. They are not welcomed. They are not welcomed. They are looked at as a burden. This is someone who cannot wash, cannot bathe by himself or herself. And now this person sees like it is really a burden. And even to some other institutions, like some of the children we have with the special needs. One time we tried to put them in rehabilitative centers, but they could not still cope up. And these people called us like, you pick them back. So it has also been a challenge. Children with the special needs, they are not welcomed. Then the challenge we have children that we have brought in due to abandonment, then severe malnutrition. The effects of severe malnutrition. It affects the brain. So in most cases, most of them, 99%, they are very slow learners. So it has been a challenge. And now what we do is to try our best to empower them with the skills, but it's not easy. By government policy, a child has to leave the home by 17 years when this person has left or you exit. But sometimes you find situations whereby someone has clocked 18 years. But now like, let me give you examples of abandoned children. She was an abandoned child. You tried the tracing of the family and you did not succeed. This person, none of the relative is known. And when it comes to fostering, no one is interested in doing what? In fostering. Are you going to dump this child? The answer is no. You have to find a plan for option B. So it is a must, but to some other categories, it is not a must. Because dumping a child, tomorrow you realize this child is on the street. Will you have hoped or rescued the situation? No. So it's not a must. It depends on the circumstances, depends on the situation. Where the environment is good, safe, the environment is really favorable, you resettle. Where it's not favorable, but today government has always extended a helping hand. Like today we have a panel at the city, that is TAC panel. It is called the Team Around Child. For them, they sit, they are the ones to decide, and where we feel like we are stuck, they also hope to see that they identify foster parents, but where they fail is now a burden of the home or the institution. And now as Salem, we are trying our best to see that we empower them with the skills. We give them independent living, like our children with the special needs. That house you see there, it is called St. Martin's Annex. After all the options were tried and we failed, the management came up with an idea to solicit some funds to put up a shelter for them. And now we never wanted to put them far away from us, because now Salem is the home, Salem is the family, it's the final destination. They have been here right from their childhood. Now what we did is to put up that shelter nearby, so that we still remain one family. We interact, eat together, play together, but only the shelters can do what? Divide us. For those children that we resettle, we do follow up, maximum 3 years. Every year, twice, thrice, we go and follow up. Because you may reset a child, then tomorrow the situation changes. For instance, we have some children that we resettled, and then only when we went to do the follow-up, we realized the caretaker died, and these children were moving on streets. They move here and there. Tomorrow you hear they're in Soroti. The other day you hear there's some more, they took them, they're in Tororo. So we had to withdraw them and bring them back. And right today, we pressed them back into school. They are twins. One is at a vocational institute, taking a certificate in tailoring, could not perform well. And then this one, the one who could do well, is in secondary school. So we do follow up. But I would also take this opportunity to request, in case there is any available opportunity for the support, please, there is always great need in education support. There is always great need in commodities like food, clothing, things like sugar, soap, cooking oil, and among others, just like any other family. Just like I've told you, it's not always easy. Sometimes there is that point when we really struggle, but we have to support, to hope, to care for these children. We cannot deny cases that are sent to us. We have to rescue life. But in case there is an opportunity, please consider us. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are humbled.
Lydia Akiding, Bukedi Times, Kolonyi Mbale City.